Okay, so now on the scientific notation worksheet, many people have question on page 2, so let me just do this thing again quite slowly. So first, the step here is like you always need to check if the m is between 1 and 1.999, and then also 2 decimal places. If not, you have to round, and this must be the last step, okay? Changing to decimal places always the last step, like 2 places. Now here, the first part, I'm doing the addition subtraction on one video, okay? So if you need to add or subtract, make sure that the exponent must be the same. But if they're not the same, right, if they have different exponent, you want to change the small exponent to the big one. Okay, so you want to change the small exponent to the big one. All right, so now here, this is addition. All right, 10 to the 5th, 10 to the 6th. Which one is smaller? 5 is smaller. Okay, so 5 is smaller. We're going to change this to 10 to the 6th. Okay, so we change the smaller to the bigger one, 10 to the 5th. When we look up the number, 5 is smaller than 6. All right, if you look up the B one, -2, -3, -3 is the smaller. We change the -3 to -2. So be careful with the negative number. So the best thing to do is remember the number line. Okay, number line, -3 is less than -2. So we change the -3 to -2. Here, 5 is less than 6. We change the 5 to 6. So I want to make this to be 10 to the 6. Okay, so we first, I write down 1.2. Now I want to split 10 to the 5th to 2 parts. I want to split 10 to the 5th to 2 parts. The second part will be 10 to the 6th because I want to make the small one to be the big exponent. So my second exponent will be 10 to the 6th. Now, if you look up what I underline here, all right? Now, 1.2 stays at 1.2, no change. But 10 to the 5th will equal to 10 something times 10 to the 6th. You see, I underlined the green thing. So you want to ask yourself, do a little simple math. 5 equals to 10 to something plus 6, right? 5 equals to question mark plus 6, right? Because the green thing that I underline are equal. Because I did not change the value. All I change is the way that it write. I did not change the value. All I change is the value that it write. So the green thing, they are equal each other. So 5 equals what plus 6 is -1 plus 6. So this 10 to the 5th equals to 10 to the -1 times 10 to the 6th. I did not change the value. All I change is the way it write. So double check again. -1 plus 6 is 5. You always add these two numbers to double check, okay? I know some people, they write down 1 here. 1 plus 6 is not 6. It's not 5, okay? So you double check your math. And then the second part, I keep the same. All right? Now, next thing is, now I double check. Okay, 10 to the 6, 10 to the 6. Now, that's what I mean, same exponent. 10 to the 6, 10 to the 6, same exponent. But then now I want to change this. Right? You see, I keep 10 to the 6, no change here. That means I want to change this, 1.2 times 10 to the power -1 to the standard notation. Okay, so this -1, that means my original number will be less than 1. So I have to move my decimal place 1 to the left. Become 0.12 times 10 to the power 6. So this part equal to this, okay? See, 1.2 times 10 to the power -1 is 0.12. 10 to the 6, no change. And then the rest, the same. No change. Okay? The next thing is I see while I want to have the same exponent, 10 to the 6, 10 to the 6 on both of them, because I can take out the common factor. My common factor is 10 to the 6. All right, so I take it out, and then I got 0.12 plus 5.35 times 10 to the power 6. Okay, because why do I want to have the same exponent? 10 to the 6 on both of them, because I can take out the common factor. All right, it becomes this. Now, if I add this, I remember it's 5.47 n times 10 to the power 6. Then I want to check two things. One is my n between 1 to 9999. Should be 1 to 9.999. Okay, 1 to 9.999. And second is the two decimal places. All right, this number is between 1 to 9.999, and it's also two decimal places. So that's my answer. Okay, so if I do one more time here, let's say I'm doing question B, for example, I don't know if question B working or not. No, probably question B will not work. Let me just work back to the question C, okay? Question C. Now, 10 to the 6, 10 to the 5th. Which one is my small exponent? Right? 10 to the 5th is my small exponent. Now, again, you have to be careful with the negative sign, okay? You think about the number line, all right? So I want to keep 10 to the 6, keep it. But I want to change 10 to the 5th to 10 to the 6. So the first part, no change. Second part, right? 8.3, you see that 8.3 I did not change. But I'm going to change the 10 to the 5th. I split 10 to the 5th into two parts. I split it. All right, now what do I need to have on my right-hand side? The exponent, I want to have 10 to the 6, so I can take out the common factor. Now, you ask yourself, 5 equal what plus 6? 5 equals minus 1 plus 6. You always add these two numbers to double check. Minus 1 plus 6 is 5. Now, you see, I did not change my value. 8.3 is 8.3. 10 to the 5th equals to 10 to the negative 1 times 9 to the 6. I change is the way that it right. Okay? Then, next thing is I need to take care of this part. I'm going to change that to standard notation. So the first part, no change. Okay, so this part, negative 1, meaning that my number is less than 1. So I move the decimal place to the left. Okay, so this is this. Again, I did not change my value. Okay, 10 to the 6, 10 to the 6. All I change is just this, the way it right. I did not change the value. Now my common factor is 10 to the 6. Okay, so remember this add up to 10.53 times 10 to the power 6. Now here, two things. Number one, this is not between 1 to 9.99, 1 to 9.999, right? 10.53 is not, okay? It's not. So we have to move the decimal point 1 to the left-hand side. So this become 1.053 times 10 to the power 1. Now this part is the green part only, okay? This part is the green part, the black part only. See? 10.53 equals to 1.053 times 10 to the power 1. This is that. But I haven't finished writing 10 to the power 6 yet. Okay? So 10 to the power 6, I did not change. I just changed the black part to here. Then I can round the number and add the exponent. I round the number, become 1.05. I add the exponent, become 10 to the power 7. Okay.